Shut up and sit down.
Yeah, good enough. Generic podcast, nameless podcast, podcastarino,
Yeah. So
podcasting.
whatever we decide to call it, but yeah, it's another one. But yeah,
We could call it what every podcast on YouTube should be called: two white guys talking.
wearing gray.
Two white guys talking. That's every podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
So how was your day, bud? What's up?
Well, I was supposed to stay up all night. That didn't happen. I ended up going and putting on YouTube, and then I ended up falling asleep because I got really comfy. So
I hate when that happens. It always happens to me on the couch, and I quite frequently like sleep through the night on the couch, even though it's like, I don't know, normal people would judge me and be like, "That's not healthy. You have a bed. Why don't you sleep in the bed?" Like, dude, all of the stuff I like is right here. There's a giant TV right in front of the couch. Why wouldn't I fall asleep on the couch?
yeah, yeah. I woke up a few times, and every time I was just like, there's nothing I really want to do. Like, I don't really want to play any video games. There's nothing I really want to watch. So I just changed the YouTube video to something else that was kind of, and then I'd fall back asleep.
So yeah, sometimes I'll click an old video like that I've watched a long time ago, and then I'll hit next on the remote, and I'll just like let the algorithm figure some shit out.
Yeah.
What it always seems to go back to is fucking Your Favorite Son. He did like a fucking 5-hour retrospective on the entire Legacy of Kain series, and I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. I've never even heard of it until he made a video about it, but it fucking always ends up back on that video. Like, I'll come home from school, and on the TV is fucking Your Favorite Son talking about Legacy of Kain again, and I'm like, God damn it, man. Why do you think I like this?
That's the one problem I don't like with the algorithm is that they changed it to...
It's not working anymore.
It doesn't work anymore, which...
Yeah.
Really, we need to come up with somebody needs to come up with an alternative to YouTube, because I know I saw a thing that Hutch just got demonetized on YouTube.
What? Hutch is a mainstay of YouTube. He's been on it since like 2007.
Yeah, so...
Like early Machinima days.
It's been YouTube's just gone off the deep end. They're just kind of lost anymore. Whoever took over hasn't made it better.
It's Google.
Yeah. I mean, Google's been Google for a while now. So.
They are a very strange company.
Mm-hmm.
They're very big on virtue signaling without actually like doing any real good. But
yeah.
Anyway, we could go on about that all day. But yeah, my day was all right. I got home from work not too long ago, so.
You said today was your last day at work?
Technically, yeah. He might call me back in if he needs like some more help. So my little toolbox is still like full of my shit and bungee corded together, so I can just throw it in the backseat of the truck and whatever. But yeah, that was a pretty chill, slow day. There's a lot of weird people that come to that place to get their cars worked on. They always have very eccentric cars.
I mean, I kind of noticed. I can actually.
Oh yeah, and I was sending you pictures of some of the stuff I worked on, like an E-Type Jag, an '80s Volvo, that orange Chevy van. Just like there's a lot of like really weird vehicles with weird owners.
That was for later, but yeah, like this.
Yeah. That guy was weird. The Volvo behind him, that kid's weird. Like
this, the E-Type.
With E-Type, I've never met that guy, but he seems all right.
So yeah, there was
the guy that owns that black pickup truck that's getting fully brodozered. Looks nothing like you think he would. That man is like an 85-year-old World War II veteran. Like
Jesus.
he came in to like look at the truck, and like he didn't even remember like what parts he'd bought and what he had more than one of. And
oh my God. Wow.
I looked at him and I was like, I waited till he left, and then I asked the boss, I was like, can he even get up in this truck? And he's like, I don't know. I have no idea. He's paying me to put all this shit on his truck, so I'm doing it. Like, all right.
Fair enough.
Fair enough, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, why does that truck never sit outside? Like, because the bed is full of fucking parts this guy either bought at one point because he wanted them or doesn't want them anymore or something. And like, we can't park it outside. Somebody will steal the bed full of parts.
Yeah. That's
fucking
wild. Like,
it's a neat place to work, but man, the people are strange.
yeah, that is. That's cars in general, though. I will be honest. Like, you'll meet very weird people.
And then sometimes the people who own cars we work on look exactly how you think they would.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a Mustang, a newer GT500, and as soon as the boss told me like, oh yeah, he's an older guy, I was like, how many gold chains does he wear? And then sure enough, the guy showed up and he had on 2 gold chains and like a big fake gold watch and like white hair and like still dressing like he's like 26. I'm like, oh okay, you just you still think you're young. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You are exactly who I thought would be an old person that owns a GT500. So no offense, cool guy, seems all right, but like I don't know. We go back and forth a little bit about car stereotypes and like how they absolutely do exist.
Yeah, they're justified
like
most of the time. Like
yeah, they're justified, but like car stereotypes is I feel like isn't being racist because it's just like I don't know. It's like there's nothing racist behind it. It's just like, oh yeah, this group of people usually ends up buying this kind of car. I don't know why, they just do.
Yeah.
Like me, I am a car stereotype. I've had several Camaros and Firebirds, and I am white trash. We like them. I don't know why. We just do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I fit under any car stereotype just because of the weird shit I like.
You've had a lot of strange vehicles in just the time I've known you, too.
Yeah, like I haven't...
You had an H3, a Mini Cooper, a Viper, and now you have an FDRX. So there was a brown minivan in there, too. For anyone wanted, it was a brown minivan that you had before you got the RX-7. So you're not really nail downable with a specific vehicle.
I mean, the brown van I bought because the whole thing was like $2,000. Like it was absolutely dirty.
Yeah, it was just I need a car in Japan.
Yeah, like it ran, it drove, it had all the stuff done to it. Like
it got hit by a taxi at some point, I think.
It got hit by a new Honda like SUV, and because cars are built around crumple zones, it totaled his car. It totaled his car. The only thing it did to mine was I couldn't open because he T-boned me while I was making a turn, and for some reason he just decided to not slow down and just plow right into me.
Like, oh, there's a car turning in front of me. I'm just gonna hit it.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? But the only thing it did to me was it didn't set off my airbags. It didn't break any of my windows. It just dented my passenger front and rear door, so I couldn't open either of them. That was it.
Yeah, it's passenger side. Fuck it. Yeah.
It drove just fine. But it totaled his car. His car was fucking crumpled, like about 2 feet in. And I was like, this is okay.
My van is a destroyer.
I end up junking.
Hey, I mean, it serves him right. That guy just decided to hit you, so he decided to destroy his own car.
I was like, that sucks for you, man. Like,
sorry for all the headphone users who can hear me eating Swedish fish. I fucking love Swedish fish, dude. They're good.
Yeah. I haven't had them in a fucking minute.
It's the same thing that's in my vape. It's Swedish fish.
Oh my god. Yeah, you do like that. I forgot.
They're really good. Also, when I bought Swedish Fish vape juice, I bought like 4 bottles of it because I'm always running out, and now I still have 2 bottles and a half. So it's going to be Swedish Fish for a while.
Oh Jesus! Which absolutely fine because as long as you're vaping what you like. Because like here I get really weird disposable ones that have no nicotine, or I have to go to a vape shop and they only have salt nic, and I don't. So. But thankfully, basically everybody's quitting smoking here, and I'm not about to go to smoke tech by myself because instead of going there, I'd rather just sit at my desk and read my book. So I do that.
Everyone's quitting smoking. That's going to last.
Yeah.
I quit smoking pretty frequently too, in between paychecks.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not too stressed out anymore because I stopped caring.
That's the way to go, man.
Like, they go and they made it pretty clear they're not going to help me get this one qualification that I really don't need or I kind of wanted, but it's not going to help me at all. So I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Book it. You don't want to let me get qualified, I'm not going to get qualified. It's not my problem anymore. Yeah, no, I feel you, bud. What are you reading?
Oh, I'm sending a message. Fucking Facebook.
Oh.
So, no. But yeah, no. So, I mean, the other qual I do need, I don't need my team to help me, so that's absolutely fine. And I'll worry about that next year. The rest of this year, I'm just kind of chilling. Because,
Chilling at the Holiday Inn, call you Chingy.
Exactly. But, yeah. So I did have a list of things on...
Talking points, hell yeah.
Yeah, that was the word. So, because we had talked about how... There it is.
Yeah, I don't have any talking points. My mind is a blank slate. I'm watching a hot girl try on panties on YouTube right now.
So, in the RX-7 on the driver's side, which, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, door switch.
So, there's how...
We mentioned that while killing Nazis.
Yeah. So, in my original, this is how it looks. It's got I can turn on... This turns off the passenger side window for both sides, which is really weird. Because
That is weird.
But then I have an auto up and down for my side, and then not for the passenger side. So, there's a better version. So,
yeah.
For some reason, on my last day of work, this decided to go completely floppy in that I know it's not the switch is broken. It just broke. It's not, it's whatever.
The switch is mechanically broken, not electrically broken.
Yeah.
So some of the plastic bits inside of it that it rocks on are probably gotten brittle and old and cracked and snapped. That happens.
So it can move all four directions instead of just, up and down. So that's how I know it was mechanically. So thankfully it's really easy because literally that's all it is. Well, not that one, obviously.
Yeah, it's just a switch with a plug on it.
Yeah. So it's really easy to replace. So I went to Alpha Garage, I think it's called. If you look it up,
I do not remember.
Yeah,
but
I got it from someplace. So, and essentially the one I got now is a better. Let's just load. Well, it's not loading. There we go. There's a better version. Hopefully. There.
Oh, you got auto up and down for both sides now.
Yeah, because essentially, if it was the left-hand drive, the auto up and down will be on the opposite side. So they go and they make them universal, and they made them better. So I got auto up and down for both sides. And it's a really easy thing. Like, I'm going to hate taking my door panel apart again, but it's whatever. It'll be a quick, hour process, honestly. Just because there's weird plastic that I have to make sure everything aligns with. But, yeah, so I ended up... It cost me, $80. So probably arrive here next week, so I honestly probably won't be able to get it till I pick my car up. So.
Is that with shipping?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is $80 for a window switch.
Yeah, it was with shipping. It was actually this one, Garage Alpha.
Oh.
So, yeah. But thankfully, the passenger side one, which is this one, literally just for his, does work. So I can still put up and down the window because I don't try and run the AC because I already get really bad gas mileage. So
it's not going to get much better or worse.
Yeah. I mean, it just... If I can... well, I just don't like to run it in general, just because...
I'm afraid it's going to break.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just not trying to break any more parts before it. Because literally in 7 days... Well, no, not even. Because today's Tuesday. So 6 days, I drop it off at the shop for a week. So, and then during that time, I'll have that week off so we can play video games. And...
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be a lot of.
I won't have that week off, but I'll have nothing else to do except
Yeah, I
like
mean, I can just sleep while you're in class.
5 hours of
Whatever.
school while I'm in class. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I'll come home and we can fuck it. We can do the whole Sniper Elite series, bro. I got
Exactly.
paid. I don't know when that deposit will actually like show as there, but as soon as it does, I'm going on a buying spree on Steam. I'm gonna do 3 Zombie Army trilogy, and then probably 4. I'm not gonna buy 5 yet.
Yeah, I'd probably buy 3 and 4.
That's a lot for us to get through before I gotta get to
Exactly.
5. It'll take a while. Yeah, I have no other real talking points other than I had a lot of fun playing Sniper Elite with you. It was great.
Yeah, I wish we could have done
Like,
the killing the Führer, but maybe we can do that co-op.
I think
later
in the
ones.
in the later ones the DLC is co-op,
Mhm.
but I think for 2 it was kind of an afterthought to even have a co-op campaign, so that's probably why it was not that great. We had a couple issues.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a few other talking points, thankfully. So the which I'm actually not going to show it because I don't really want to get copyright striked, but the Gran Turismo trailer just came out.
They got the guy from Stranger Things and a bunch of YouTube influencers,
And Orlando Bloom. I watched the trailer, and twice during this, I'd say 2-minute trailer, they went and said, it's nothing like the game, you go and you crash in the game, that's it, it's whatever. You just restart. You crash in real life, you could die. They mentioned it at the very beginning and at the very end.
in my experience, when you crash in Gran Turismo, because I've played most of them, when you crash in Gran Turismo, there's a weirdly compressed sound file that plays, and then you bounce off the wall and nothing bad happens.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo doesn't have crash physics for anyone who's never played it. It is none.
Yeah, it was. So I was very confused, and just the premise of it all is basically, hey, we got these kids that are really good at Gran Turismo, and we're gonna have them race in.
So that's a real thing that happens called GT Academy. It's happened for a lot of years,
Yeah,
and
but
it's never been like crashes. It's not gone badly, but like I don't know. As soon as they said they were like, we're gonna make a Gran Turismo movie, I was immediately went. I've played most of the Gran Turismo games. There isn't a story. I don't know how you're gonna make a movie out of this.
That's basically what I'm assuming is it's just gonna be like the Gran Turismo like GT Academy. Like that's all it's following is people becoming up and comers, and it's like because it goes and it follows some black kid that goes and he's really good at Gran Turismo, but he goes and he ends up driving and he ends up crashing at what I think is supposed to be like a 919 like Porsche hypercar, and he goes and flips it a bunch, and I'm like, okay, like this, and it goes and shows them like doing like, oh yeah, you don't in Gran Turismo you don't need to be in great shape, but in racing a real car you need to be in good shape. So he goes and has them run it like doing sprints, and you see a couple kids like throwing up, and I'm like, okay, like this is, I don't care about this. Like this, who is this movie aimed at?
I don't know. Like if it certainly sounds like they're taking aim at the very gamers who play Gran Turismo and think they're race car drivers because they're sim racers. But if that's your target demographic, why would you insult them like that?
Yeah,
and make them the butt of the joke of your movie, which is in itself a joke.
Yeah, I don't understand it because it's.
There are many better video games about racing that you could have made a movie about. Some of them have a storyline.
Yeah, like that's the thing. They did a pretty decent one about the Need for Speed story. Like, it did it have anything to do with that game? No, but it actually was interesting. Like, it had a story to it. It followed.
It was very much like a Need for Speed game, in that it had the same problems with the movie that the games have with realism and my lack of interest.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like the best part of the movie was Michael Keaton, but.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah. But like, I mean, it was whatever. Like, it had comedic moments. It had tomfoolery and shit like that. Like, oh yeah, we're about to drive off a cliff. Thank God my friend stole an army helicopter, and we're gonna skyhook it. Like,
Some
okay,
Fast and Furious level shit.
yeah, but it was whatever. Like,
Yeah.
um, but it's I don't know. We just need to.
Isn't the guy from Stranger Things in it?
I don't know.
The sheriff? Isn't he the main Gran Turismo boss man or something? I don't know.
Let's see.
I don't know why they even try and make racing movies anymore. They'll never make one as good as Driven.
I mean, there's like you could do really well, but they just do not do anything with them. Yeah, so. Okay.
I love the movie Driven with Sylvester Stallone and Til Schweiger.
Yeah, like you could do.
It's a fantastic film.
There you go. So, yeah, David Harbour.
Yeah, that guy.
But like this guy's supposed to be the main character. I don't.
Isn't Amelia Hartford in this movie? She said she was. Yeah, there she is.
Yeah. I don't really care about her.
This is a collection of a lot of people who are young and like influential, and they're gonna say things like "I love cars," and then they're gonna talk about a car that they like a picture of, and then they don't actually know anything about cars whatsoever.
They're gonna read the spec.
Like just the people on screen right now, I feel like if you put them in that car they said they like a picture of and like made them drive into a gas station, they would get out and like not even know where the fuck to put gas in it. You know, like these people look like the kind of very much like Gen Z kids that like don't even fucking understand that you need to change oil. Except for Amelia Hartford, I guess she works on cars on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's a shame because like I do like Neil Blomkamp. I think he's a great director. So I'm like, I don't know why he went. Like I was really excited at the start, but then I saw a trailer and I'm like, I'm not excited at all. Like
I've literally never heard of him. What has he directed?
He did the District 9, and then he had a series on YouTube, Oat Studios.
Sounds to me like he just really likes CGI.
Like he does.
Oh yeah, Elysium, Chappie, District 9. This is gonna be a CGI'd piece of shit.
Yeah,
so this is gonna be. I want the CGI to be bad on purpose.
Like he does good movies, but like it's just I don't.
When there's a wreck and like that car flips over, I want them to like force that car to flip over in the Gran Turismo video game and use that B-roll as the footage of the car flipping over with vacuum cleaner noises going on because the Gran Turismo audio guy needs fired. He's needed fired for like 5 games now.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they do better than fucking Tenet, where they purposely went and made the soundtrack louder than the audio in some spots.
A lot of people on YouTube I've noticed have been doing that lately. Like they've been adding like music to their videos, but like doing it over parts where they're talking, and they haven't leveled shit out. So like I can't hear what I need to turn subtitles on because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's just really bad audio editing. Like there's zero utilization, but
you can tell someone made that video, did not watch it themselves as to like to preview it or make sure it was good, and then just uploaded it. Like you didn't proof watch your video even once.
It's not hard. Like you just have to go and like make it slightly. If you're adding music, make it slightly quieter than any talking points, or just don't have any talking points, and then you're fine.
Yeah. Speaking of YouTube channels, though, I found a pretty good one lately. It's called Space Ice, and I found it while I was just looking for clips from the movie Cobra. He does like 15-minute movie analyses, and well, here's just an example of one right here. Uwe Boll movie Far Cry is so awful it's dating a Kardashian, and it'll be just like he's got a good voice for it too because he sounds like a 90s movie trailer announcer. So yeah, they're pretty good. Steven Seagal's Flight of Fury is so bad it killed Santa Claus.
Okay. All right then. Wow.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's Total Recall proves that Earth sucks. Whoop, that's my mic falling down. You tighten that up. Yeah.
This is on YouTube?
Yeah, a channel called Space Ice. Stallone's Judge Dredd is so good, Rob Schneider almost didn't ruin it. I want to find the Cobra one again, because his Cobra one was like genuinely funny. Like, I was laughing, and he brought up some shit about Cobra I never even fucking paid attention to before, like how in Cobra, Stallone is just like a complete fucking psychopath. Like, he comes home, he pushes that one guy's car out of the way, and then he threatens him, then he rips his shirt, and then he goes inside, throws his newspaper on the grill, pulls out pizza and an egg carton from the freezer, sits down at his desk, cuts the piece of pizza with scissors, then starts eating the end he cut off of it while it's still frozen. And he opens up the egg carton, and it's a gun cleaning kit that was for some reason in an egg carton in the freezer with frozen pizza. And then he turns on the TV, and he does all of this while spaced out, staring at a Toys R Us commercial. Unintentionally, Stallone in Cobra is completely fucking insane and totally unhinged. He's literally insane.
God damn.
I'm gonna send the video because it's hilarious to watch it. And he's like talking about the other cops. And he's like, "Yeah, everybody in this movie is the dumbest fucking person ever." It's just like they're like interviewing Bridget Nielsen at the hospital, despite her not being injured whatsoever from the attack she survived, and like, "Yeah, dude, who might have done this?" And she's like, "No." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, well, there was this one guy. He was weird. And they're like, "What's weird about him?" It's just like, and Stallone makes a really shitty drawing of the guy. It's like really bad. It's like so good. No, he does a lot of movies. I mostly just watch his like ridiculous 80s action movie reviews, but like, yeah, it's pretty good. I just sent you a link to the video.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm gonna put it on. You guys won't be able to hear it because my TV's muted, but I'm gonna watch it again. The opening scene where they go into the supermarket, and like the first thing Stallone does after sneaking around in the supermarket is he opens a Coors Light and takes a drink of it, and it's like, hell yeah, the first thing Stallone does when he gets on scene is chug a fucking beer.
Yeah, apparently I've seen this channel before because I saw the one I saw recommended to me was Steven Seagal's Urban Justice is so terrible it lies about flossing. So I've seen the channel before, I just never watched it. I was like, I don't...
Yeah, that video in itself was funny, and that, holy shit, Steven Seagal's still making movies, and also,
yeah,
it's incredibly obvious he's Bruce Willising it. He's just, I'm just here to get paid.
Yeah.
He's doing zero acting, almost no stunts whatsoever. He's basically just like not even on screen that much.
No, because
and if he is, it's just his face while he's like driving or like sitting and thinking or something. He doesn't even fucking speak.
No, most of the time,
like,
yeah, he says like five words at a time.
Yeah, I think he's got like two different rates, one for like speaking and one for like non-speaking roles, and they're just like...
But that's the thing is, I'm pretty sure he has to be directing some of these movies because they're just so awkward.
I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure there's an entire crop of just garbage tier direct-to-DVD like directors in Hollywood, and honestly, man, I'd fucking love to be one. Like, dude, you telling me I could, like, seriously, if a studio wants someone to just pump out shit boomer tube content,
like
80s action movie stars making phoned-in movies now, I'll happily direct all of them. All I ask is that help me relocate to Hollywood, for one thing, because it's expensive to live there.
Yeah.
And additionally, let me direct one original film of my own. I want to tell the story of the War Camaro. That needs to be told.
Yeah. That'd be a good one. Especially because it would be a good one on car, too.
Yeah, it's also true. And it's not like there'd be a huge, like, CGI budget. I want to do a lot of practical effects.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not like, oh, the stunt car budget would be huge. Like, dude, 79 Camaros are still like $3,000.
Yeah.
Like, we bought a fifth one to crash just cause.
Yeah, like, and you have to do the blooper out thing on the fucking ending credits.
Oh, we'd always do blooper outtakes. We have to for Hal Needham.
Because man, those are good times.
Man gave me so much enjoyment in my childhood for the ridiculous movies he made. Ugh. Sorry, I'm burping, everybody. The strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper is making me gassy.
It is what it is. It's fine. But
it's pretty good though. It's all right. Yeah.
You have to watch that later. That was, oh man.
Yeah.
The other big thing was, so I showed that I got my car manga then.
Oh yeah.
So I was gonna show the
2 different ones, right?
Yeah, I got the Carrera one I showed last time, and then the Countach one finally arrived.
What's the Countach one called?
Literally
just called Countach.
Literally,
Nice.
Yeah. Because here I can. That was another thing I was gonna talk about later, but. Literally just Countach.
Hell yeah.
So.
He's starving and we're not. It's time to share. Here, hey, little man, you want some Swedish fish?
What?
I was making fun of the banner at the top of the page.
I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Okay. Whatever. But yeah, 28 volumes, completely finished, 2004, 2012. So it's not super old, but I mean, it's still kind of old. Yeah, literally, dude just fucking basically touches the heart of a billionaire who's trying to sell his Countach, and then fucking he sells it to the dude for like $20,000. Like, dude gets an absolute fucking steal, and he gets
that's garbage money for what that is.
So because of this, him and the billionaire still keep in touch, and like, fucking. Yeah, literally, dude's old as sin. Like,
looks like Pai Mei from Kill Bill.
Oh yeah. So he gets introduced to like various weird characters. Like he goes and races a chick that loves Corvettes and only drives Corvettes. I don't know if there's any pictures of her with her Corvette. Oh, just that one.
Nope, just that one. That's the chick with flames tattooed on her pussy, right?
Right on her like pelvic region.
The pubis mons.
Yeah. There. Yeah. And she has the fucking ones tattooed on the side. I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of flames tattooed or detailed on the side. It's really hard to find anything about
that important.
There we go. They kind of see him there. Yeah, it's a absolutely fucking ridiculous manga, but so I got that. But so I was reading the Carrera one, and the Carrera one was good because I thought it was originally just it just had this, basically a touch, like a spin-off on the Blackbird, which...
Yeah, the White Swan.
I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. But no, then it full on just introduces it. And I'm like, oh.
Nice.
Oh, damn. And it fucking... Where I got to... basically, this car is going to race a Diablo GT. I haven't gotten to if it's going to, kill it. I'm pretty sure it probably will because it... basically, the main character, she ended up losing the race because that's why I also like this manga is the main character goes through doing all this work to tune her 964 Carrera.
Still loses races.
Yeah, she blew her engine because she money shifted by accident.
Oh, yeah, I'll do it. That happened a couple times in Wangan Midnight, stuff like that. That was cool. There's that whole episode with I think where the guy was racing against an R33 and the R33 overheated his shit and blew a hose off and had to back out and lost. Yeah, like it does happen. It's just it doesn't happen so much in most car manga. Like so that's why I kind of like this one is like Yeah.
She has a nice car, and then she blows it, and then it literally goes and has a couple chapters where even now, I think like the 6 chapters I read after it happened, she's still like on the fence about just selling the Porsche and like just giving up driving altogether. Like
Yeah, man,
obviously she's not because
it's a big heartbreaking deal when you like either crash or like seriously, you know, break like your baby in your car, and it's like it makes you like sick to your stomach. You're like, man, should I just get rid of this thing? Am I not good as an owner for it? And it's like, no, man, fix your damn car, you know?
Yeah.
It's what that whole pretty much the second half of that documentary, Love the Beast, with Eric Bana was about. He went and did that Targa rally and stuffed it into a tree, and then he was just sick for like 8 months after it, thinking about like, should I even fix this thing? And, you know, he interviewed like Clarkson and Jay Leno and Dr. Phil and all these people about like the relationship between a man and a car. And
you absolutely should fix it if you can.
And I believe he did. Yeah. And he no longer races it. He just drives it now. Mm-hmm. So it's not
in as much danger as it was during the rally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm actually like really digging that one. Probably, I don't know. I took a break from reading that to read something that's already translated, which is the MF Ghost, which is actually a sequel to Initial D.
I've never heard of this.
So MF Ghost is it has the same art style and it's still being published. So like he hasn't really changed his art style. Like he has
just the car choices, and I know that when they do eventually make this anime, it's going to be bad. I'll still watch it, but it's going to be bad.
I mean, the reason they did this is because it's basically it happens during like the now time.
Yeah.
And obviously he's not going to be racing an 80s one.
Because that would be a ridiculously expensive vehicle for a kid in Japan to have.
And like even this is still kind of like, this is old. Like this is the new one, so it's like it's still. Mm-hmm. But essentially what happened was electric cars and like autopilot and all that kind of like took over. So people don't drive their own cars. So nowadays, Keisuke, I think, the older brother that drove the FC went and started Ryosuke started a race called MFG, where literally they go and they do basically the same thing that you do with F1, where they do multiple races, and you get points per thing, and you get money for where you finish and all that kind of stuff. But they go and they do it all in Japan, and then. So because of that, the main character comes from a school in like London, where he clearly has a Japanese father. And he goes and races in this car, which he basically borrows from someone else, and everyone else is racing, Huracans, 488, whatever. Like they're racing higher end cars, but he's able to go and just not brake as much as they are. He's just able to push the car a lot harder. So he finishes high enough.
It's lighter and it handles good, and if it's sorted out with proper tires and nice suspension, he can basically sail through corners they can't because he doesn't have to brake.
Yeah. And he's
pretty much lighter. The same plot as Initial D was.
Yeah. But it's spoiler, so if you don't want to, just wait probably a couple minutes. But turns out that he's fucking basically he's a savant because he literally memorized the whole track. So even in super foggy days, he can just basically close his eyes and just drive. He doesn't really need to see the track. He just knows it from mental image. But he was trained by Takumi, because what happens is Takumi blew a drive shaft.
Takumi was also a savant.
Yeah, so Takumi blew a drive shaft, he crashed his car, and was in the hospital for like a couple years, so he wasn't able to race, so he ended up becoming a teacher at the school that the main character was, and basically that's why he's so good, is he has his normal his Latin abilities that he can use, but then he's also trained by Takumi, So Takami's not really in it. They show a couple of the characters from Initial D. Like they showed Keisuke, the one that drove the yellow FD for like
that's Keisuke.
for like a panel, and that's it. Like they're teasing like the old characters, but not really like it's not the focus. It's more about him. So I'm liking it. I mean, it definitely has potential. It's a lot different than I expected because it's 15 to 20 chapters per race. So it's a lot focusing on the races and all that kind of stuff. But I dig it. We'll see. Obviously, I don't really care for the car because I don't really care for.
Yeah, it's meh. It's just a Red 86 with some stickers on it. Oh yeah.
I mean, I also don't really care about most cars nowadays. So like, I don't care about the 488 or the Huracan. Like, I don't care about a lot of the. There's an Audi R8, a GTR. Like, I don't really care about a lot of the cars because they're all new. Yeah, Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, buddy, there's a whole lot of cars I don't care about.
Yeah, especially nowadays. So it's like it's kind of, I don't know. It's interesting, but we'll see. It's actually translated though, so it is a lot easier to read than me having to translate. So yeah. And then I only had two other things on my thing for today, and that was we had talked about it before. Was the underestimating people? So I
don't remember in what context, but
so basically
2.2 Ecotech from the Saturn.
So we have a new person that she's a bit older. She's probably in like she's probably like 37. She's old.
It's not that old. I'm like 6.5 years away from being 37.
Okay, well we're not young, but she's
sometimes
old.
I feel young.
She's old in like the military aspect.
Yeah, she's a military mom.
So she joined the team, and she has this car, which I understand. She has this car, a little old Saturn that basically she got from her dad before he died. So she obviously doesn't want to sell it because it's like a cherished memory. So she was talking about how the engine's bad, and I was like, yeah, like. So you have a couple options, like you can try and, just take it to a place. You could take it to a place and have them do an engine swap. You could.
It's pretty rare that an engine is bad and someone is still driving a car. Like my definition of an engine is bad is there's a fucking piston hanging out the side of the block. That engine's fucked. But like if someone says like, "Oh, my engine's bad," like, have you ever done any maintenance on it? Like,
well, hers is that it'll go and it burns oil a lot faster than it should.
That's not that big a deal. That's just rings.
So I was like, yeah, you could go and take it apart and do all this kind of stuff. Like, if you want to do it yourself, it's a bit more cramped in there, but like you can definitely do it. Like it's just
that head and shit comes straight up off. You could.
So it's
yeah.
So I was trying to tell her, like, yeah, if this is, like, because she told me that it was her dad's car and he gave it to her right before he died. So, like, she does, even though the engine's bad, she has no plans to sell it. So I was like, yeah,
it's still a 2.2 Ecotech. That's like an $1,800 engine. Just fucking have a shop swap it.
Yeah, I was like, you could pay someone to do it and it'll cost a little bit more because it won't be the engine that's expensive, it'll be the labor. But, or you could spend a couple of years, doing it yourself slowly, like. It's not a hard engine. It's not going to be hard to find stuff on it. I'm sure there's plenty of forums and stuff, and like you got to get the Haynes manuals and all that kind of stuff, and just talk to people.
No, parts and everything are both cheap and available. The problem would be getting them into Japan.
Well, no, her car. This car of hers is in America.
Oh,
So,
we're at in America. Shit, it might be like $3,000 to swap this engine total. Like,
yeah. So she's like, yeah, no, I'd rather do it myself. And I was like, okay, that's absolutely fine. You could definitely do it yourself. Like, is it a big project for, just looking at her, I'm sure she doesn't have a ton of experience, but I'm sure, she has had to do various things because at that age you typically do. And so I was
rebuilding an engine's like a pretty big step, though. It's not like changing a belt or like swapping your air filter. Like there's a lot of stuff involved.
Yeah, but that's why I was like, made sure that she knew, like, yeah, like you can do it. It's just it'll be a couple years. Like you'll probably want to have a backup car for a while. She's like, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So I was like,
you can stop sharing your screen now.
So
yeah,
sorry.
It's all right.
So the other guy that I realize now why I don't like him now was that Mustang guy. Is that he has to put...
It's because he's a Mustang guy.
He has to be the smartest guy in the room.
Like Clamored.
Yeah. So, me and her were talking, and this was a me and her conversation. Like, there was no he was not invited in this conversation. He was like, you're not going to do that. You don't know how to do an engine. I've done an engine. You don't know how to do an engine. I was like, what the fuck did... Your 2013 Mustang that you did bolt-on parts for is totally different than this 1999 Saturn. They're totally different.
Yeah.
And she got like kind of annoyed because she is older than him, and she's like, you don't know what like what I've done. And he's like, I know what you've done. You've done basic little wrenching. You've turned a bolt or two. Like you think you're all that.
I'm a man, and women don't work on cars.
I was like, holy fucking hell, dude, you are. So I was like, I can't get into this. Because then after that he was like, yeah, you'd just be better just junking it, just buying a different car. And I was like, that's not the point. Like she wants to keep.
There's an emotional attachment here.
Like, and then he tried to sell her the Mustang that he has back in the States. And he's like, yeah, it's the 500 horsepower, naturally aspirated. I've done this, this, and this. And I'm like, it's a Mustang.
A, no, it fucking isn't. B, ew, who wants a Mustang?
Like,
no offense, my boss for the past 2 weeks has a Mustang. It's pretty rare. It's one of the early 2000s Bullet Mustangs, but it's like one of the only ones they ever built in black.
Oh wow!
And he's got rear mount twin turbos on it, and it's pushing. It's like fully forged internals, like built motor and shit. And he's like, it's still in the engine break-in period because he doesn't drive it much because he's like, it makes like a ticking noise, and I don't know if it's just like the billet timing chain tensioners, or like because it's all forged internals, or like it's probably just still in fucking break-in. Just go drive the shit out of it for a while and see if it still makes noise after you change the oil a couple times. Like it'll probably be fine. But yeah, it's a neat one. But yeah, nothing against Mustang guys. Just most of them are Mustang guys like this guy.
Yeah, which is a gatekeeper.
Yeah,
it's never okay to gatekeep, because if you go and you keep people from doing things and trying things, because that's the thing. Worst case scenario, she goes and messes up her engine. She has to buy another one. She gives up and then pays someone else to it. Like she learns. That's all it is. It's a learning process. But so absolutely do not gatekeep. It was absolutely frustrating to hear that, and he's the kind of guy that you can't tell is wrong. He's exactly like Clamored. So I didn't say anything because I was like, well, you're not even going to listen to me because you don't respect me because I'm not a first class. And
so you look at him and you're like, all right, you're talking. I'm going to go smoke 2 packs of cigarettes. I'll be back in 2 hours and you'll still be talking.
Yeah, no, I just walked away. I was like, I'm getting annoyed for her because you're gatekeeping her out of a hobby. So
yeah,
it was absolutely frustrating.
Don't gatekeep people out of cars as a hobby. Definitely give them fair warning. Like it's an expensive hobby, and it will exhaust you. Yeah. Like you could really hurt yourself doing some shit. But like
that's the thing.
Fine.
Like she's
fine.
She's already clearly prepared. I was like, yeah, if you do need to pull this engine out to put another one in, you're gonna need an engine hoist. She's like, oh yeah, no, I already have that. I was like, oh wow, you've already put the thought
engine
in
hoist, an engine stand. And at least a 2-car garage to one bay have the car in and the second bay rebuild that engine in while it's on the stand, because
like
you don't want to do that shit outside. It'll get fucked up.
Yeah, the weather's gonna fuck it up. But I was like, wow, okay, you've put some thought into this, so it's like, so absolutely do not do that, because the only way people get better is through learning, and at this point, like, forums and YouTube and all that are so far in that you can do a lot of...
Oh, dude, I bet I can go on YouTube right now and find, like, 11 2.2 Ecotech rebuild videos.
Yeah, like, that's the thing, like, there's nothing stopping you from going and pulling up the iPad right next to you and then hitting play and pause and all that and, like, doing it. And, like...
Yeah.
And it's... As long as there's no, like, check engine light and, like, everything seems to make sense, like, you could also, while you're taking it apart, record yourself that we can play it backwards.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's at least 10 that I found right now. 2.2 Ecotech rebuilds.
Yeah, like
it's a cheap, simple motor, and they're pretty reliable.
Yeah, like,
but she's like, oh yeah, it burns oil. Like, okay, well, if I could just keep putting oil in it, just keep driving it.
So I'm like, whatever. But yeah, so that was absolutely frustrating, and it made me realize exactly why I don't like him in general. Just because it's don't ever be the smartest person in the room, because you're not. For one, there's something.
If you're the smartest person in the room all the time, you're not learning anything.
Yeah, like, and one, you're typically not the smartest person in the room. There's always somebody. It's just they're more introverted, and she's very much introverted. She speaks very quiet, like a mouse. Like, but she's funny as fuck. And, like, she's very savage, which is kind of why I like talking to her, because she's like a mom.
Quiet people always are.
Yeah, she's like that granny that doesn't give a fuck. Like, she has no filter.
She's not a granny, dude. She's 37.
Well, no, but she's like the granny. Because, like, I've hung out with grannies.
Oh, yeah.
When I worked at fucking the bakery and shit, and, like, they have no filter. They don't need to impress anybody. They're fucking... Yeah. They've had their kids. They're just having fun now.
I'm old. I'll be dead soon. I don't give a shit what you think of me.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. That was definitely one thing. It was absolutely frustrating me, and just I could tell she was kind of over it too, just because, yeah. But the other big thing was I might look into getting another one, just because another driving sim. Like,
a sim rig?
Yeah. Because
for that, iRacing really is the best thing, but it's like,
yeah, I've heard it's really
expensive,
because it's like $13 a month, and then you got to buy every track you want to use. Which, to be fair,
you get some for free, and you get some cars for free. But if you want to do like a specific series, you're probably gonna have to buy like 7 or 8 tracks and a car, and it's like $20 a car and like $20 a track, and it's like, before you know it, it's like, I've spent $160, and like, I don't even know if iRacing and stupid rating system is gonna let me drive the cars I want to drive. So, like,
yeah, like, that's the thing is that's the only thing I'm worried about, is because is it all PvP or is it all any PvE?
There's you can't play it like a console racing game. It's all PvE. It's all lobbies. It's all, yeah.
Oh, it's all PvE.
Remember, I played it for a little bit. Or it's all PvP. I mean, there's no...
Okay. Yeah, because that was the thing.
There's no, like, me versus CPUs or anything like that. Yeah, you could do that with, like, Assetto Corsa and... what's the other one? The one that just added the 90s Indy cars. I forget that one.
Yeah, because, like, mainly I'd like to go and give this one a try. The Fuji Speedway short course.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to see, like,
I've driven that track on what I still feel is the best Gran Turismo 5.
Yeah, because that's the thing is, I'd like to go and get a sim rig set up, and then instead of using a monitor, just use like a VR headset. That way, you can go and fucking, because I know a few of them actually do work pretty well with it. Like, not native.
Yeah, it's difficult to do, though. I know that. Even guys that like their whole like life is sim racing, like Jimmy Broadbent, like they had a hard time getting some of them to work in VR. So, and like I think that dude spent like more money than we will on cars on like his sim racing equipment and shit. And like, yeah, he's got like the like a ridiculous Fanatec wheel and like pedals and shit. And like he wears Alpine Stars racing shoes when he plays. And I'm like, dude, I know you like actually do race some cars, but like you're not really in the car when you're in your shed playing your racing game, buddy. Like you don't need the Alpine, so you could do it barefoot. Like it's not making a difference, man.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like.
But no, I think you have a pretty well built PC. I feel like you could emulate PS3 games.
Maybe
you could probably easily emulate like Gran Turismo 5 with like a Logitech wheel and pedals and like have a good time doing that. Like,
yeah, because like I was looking at like the Fanatec because it's direct drive.
Yeah, but you don't fucking need all that. It's not like you're trying to emulate driving an F1 car.
Yeah, no, it's. I just mainly want to go and do it to go and give some tracks a feel, see where I just I don't know. I can't drive. I want to go and get something that feels as good as possible. So it would cost some money, but I can't drive fast at all here. Like the.
Yeah, it's not conducive to spirited driving. The island of Okinawa. No. It's really not.
So, there. Okay, so, yeah, this is the Rikon Mall, and essentially from, let's see if I can find it. Okay, I think.
Aeon Mall.
Yes, I think it's.
Oh, that no matter where they are, somehow all Aeon Malls look exactly the same.
I'm trying to see. So,
I'm bleeding.
Should be this. Yeah, no, it should be this way. But I'm trying to see why it doesn't feel like it.
Anyway, the point you were trying to make
was that there's like very little area. Yeah, it's got to be this, like right here.
Yeah.
There's a very small stretch of road that you can actually do. Why don't I just do this? That'd make it a lot easier. That you can actually do. That's definitely not it. What the fuck is this?
Nah, that's a car park, homie, and a shitty one at that.
Oh,
an entry-exit angle. That's terrible.
It
looks like
there's
outside Gate 2 on the way to American Village.
No. This is that's it. Rikon Mall. Kadina's over there.
My memory is suffering.
It's
of course,
fine.
It's been several years since I've been in Okinawa.
So
anywhere other than like the bar on the beach at White Beach.
So typically, what I do is I come out from Rikon Mall this way, like a little side entrance. I make this turn here, and then from here, and then I'll go and I'll follow this. And if I do that right turn there, I can go and get pretty good in line in a way that I can. It's a two-way turn, so you can get just if there's somebody in one lane, you just get in the other. And it's a pretty good stretch of road for probably like a half mile that there's just not going to be a lot of people. So that's pretty much this little stretch right here is the only place I can do any spirited driving, because even on the highway, you're always going to run into people.
It's traffic as hell. There is no fast lane. It's not like America. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, there's supposed to be a fast lane, but nobody really respects it because,
Yeah, you'd like Gran Turismo 5, because something me and my buddy used to do a lot is there's a track on Gran Turismo 5 called a Special Stage Route 5.
Mm.
And it's basically like a 7 or 8 mile. I say loop. It's one stretch of the Wangan, the Bayshore route, and then at one end it takes an exit, loops around, and goes right back to the other side. And at the other end, it's just like a cone at the end of the road. You just loop through like a U-turn spot to the other side, and that's the track. And I love that because that was great for like a highway blasting.
Yeah,
and I would do that a lot in a Bayside Blue R34, because that was like my car that I could use in Gran Turismo 5 to beat like pretty much anything he had. I would just change the tune on it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like look into like if you can just emulate Gran Turismo 5, try it out with a controller.
Mm-hmm.
I always liked it with a controller because even with a controller, it had really good driving feel because you use one stick to steer, obviously, but the other stick was throttle and brake, so you could like weight shift the car. You get a good feeling of that, like with your thumb, like, oh, okay, I gotta, and you can like in turns, if you were like pushing wide, you could like cadence brake to like pull weight shift it and get it to turn. So you'd like learn a little bit about driving. Also, there's a G meter, so you can like see your G and like see like how I can better balance my car through this corner with my throttle and steering inputs. So like, yeah, 5 is good. It might look a little graphically dated now, like a little bit, but I mean it's about driving feel. It's not about I want my car to look pretty. So
yeah, I mean that's the thing. That's the reason I
also so many great cars in that game. There's over 700 cars in that game. Not all of them are great and interesting, but many of them are.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I know that we did try one before a few years back, but it was on Horizon, and Horizon's not.
That is not a car to drive with a wheel and pedals.
So I'd like to go and just get something like I don't need it to be graphically pretty. I just wanted to spend more of the money on the wheel and pedals and like have an actual shifter, so I can just get more practice. Because unless I'm going and upshifting at like 3,000 RPM. I can't even get above third gear most of the time. And so I don't know, I just don't feel like I get to drive as spirited as I used to with obviously the Viper, but even the Mini. So I don't know.
You used to like rag on that Mini, dude.
Yeah, I beat on that Mini, which I felt bad for whatever dealer we traded into, but at the same time.
No, I took it though. I mean, it was pretty much fine when you got rid of it. It would just sometimes when you would like
cold start,
so like wind it out in third and then like bang shift it into fourth, it would like puff some smoke out the exhaust, and I was like, maybe that's the turbo, maybe not, but it was fine when you got rid of it.
The worst thing was the cold starts when it sounded like a fucking turbine helicopter.
I still have no idea why the fuck that car did that. Why that car ever did that.
Neither did the shop I took it to. They were like,
no, even we looked online on forums and shit, and it was like, yeah, it's one of these two fuel filters. And I was like, all right, cool. So I replaced both of them, and it made no fucking difference. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't.
Yeah, right. And I took it to Better Off Road, and they changed one thing, and they
did your brakes. They did your brakes because your fucking assembly line screws that hold the rotor on straight while the car is going down the assembly line. They were like rusted into the rotor, and I was like, I can't get these out. There's no way I can get these out. I was like, take it to Better Off Road. They'll just torch them out and put new rotors on. It'll be fine.
Easy day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do want to go and get, because I can't spirit drive like I did back then, I do want to get a nice racing sim. And because I also literally have a full another bedroom, like I could throw it in there.
Gran Turismo 5 would be great for that because it's like everything you'd want in like a racing sim that you'd play online with people, but you don't need people or the internet to do it. Like I remember doing like legit 24-hour endurance races on Gran Turismo 5, and it was just like I would just like pause it at like the 7-hour mark, and I'd be like, dude, I gotta piss and eat something and get a drink because like I've just been I've been like pushing it, at the Nürburgring or whatever for like 7 hours. Yeah. And like, granted, it's usually like a GT class car, not like a prototype. So it's like something pretty easy to drive and like sort of comfortable. So I'm not not yellowbirding my way around, with the ass out, on the edge. Like 7/10, about what you do in an endurance race. And it's like, still though, like it wears you down. You gotta get up and stretch. And you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a workout. Workout. But
I think I sent you a video. But yeah, just like YouTube Gran Turismo 5 emulation. There's a lot of people that do it through RPCS3, which is very easy to get going. I had it going on this laptop for a little bit. I can't emulate PS3 games with this computer though because it doesn't have enough cores.
Yeah,
in the CPU, but now I'm going to build a PC at some point. We've talked about it. We have a parts list, I think.
Yep.
The tentative one, anyway.
Yeah, I have a few things bookmarked that you had talked about wanting. But
yeah, But yeah, look into that. And honestly, I mean, you don't need any shit as insane as like Fanatec direct drive wheels or like force feedback pedals and shit. Like I think with like the one right above the cheapest Logitech wheel and pedal set will be fine. Because like I've always had like the cheapest dog shit wheel and pedal. I had a Mad Catz steering wheel and pedal set for like the PS2 that ended up working on like every console after that still. It was cool. It had a little digital tachometer in the wheel. I was like, that's awesome. But it had paddle shifters on it too. It had all kind of shit. And it was very cheap. But no, that's fine for, yeah. And then you may not even need to like buy like a sim setup with like a mount for a shifter in the wheel and the pedals and a race seat. Like you could probably get away with just like a pretty nice gaming chair and like a desk, and you could just like they have fucking, they're not mounts, but they have like clamps so that you can like mount it to a desk, and then like you can just like the pedal box usually has got rubber stoppers on it, so like if you set it on wood or carpet, like it'll hold itself there. And then if it does have a shifter, maybe like, I don't know, screw something onto the desk to like screw the shifter into. But like, yeah, I mean, there's a reasonably affordable like Logitech wheel and pedals with shifter out there.
Yeah, I don't mind spending a little bit more just because it would obviously be something I would take with us to the warehouse.
Yeah, I think it's the G29. Let me check real quick.
Just because, I'm not too super worried about that.
Logitech G29.
Oh, shit.
Set.
Well, I'm gonna grab my sticky note real quick.
Damn, that was loud as hell.
Me getting up.
Ah.
My armchair banged the desk. Because I got some updates from Spring Trailer that you'll...
Oh?
Yeah.
Updates on what exactly?
A whole shopping list. Well, not our shopping list, but a shopping list.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. 3 pedals, wheel with paddle shifters, and the attached shifter, $230 on eBay.
Is it not too bad?
Yeah.
Send it to me. That way I can...
If I can scroll, phone. This old ass phone, this piece of shit, man.
No.
What is these? What is these? Yeah, Logitech G29. There you go. What are we doing? We're looking at updates for what now?
The shopping list of where the car market's at. So.
Oh yeah.
A BMW M1 was bid but not sold to almost 500,000. A Carrera GT was bid, not sold to 1 million. A E30 M3 was bid to 170, not sold. A Coyote 1967 Fastback was sold for...
That's just gross, though. Honestly, I almost hate resto mods just because.
Well, that's the thing I don't understand is
you're buying somebody else's build that they didn't even have the heart to keep after they finished building it. So how inspired can it be, honestly?
That's the thing is that you don't know that unless you have the actual like old VIN and all that stuff, like all the paperwork that proves it was a fastback. That could have been a '67 coupe that was just transformed to a fastback. Like we could do that and sell that for half the price. So seeing that really hurt me. And that Mustang, I told that Mustang fanboy, and he was like, "Oh, Coyote, that means it's fast." I was like, "Oh god, you're a fucking idiot." But then a '70 Hemi Cuda was sold for $266, which is it's a great car, but like not that good. Audi Quattro was bid to 138, not sold.
That's an S1 though.
Yeah. BMW M3 was bid at 92, not sold. Like, I mean, this is like the engine's probably worth about half that, but like I don't know, just not my thing. I don't know.
The GT40 engine isn't like that extravagant. It's
Well, no, that wasn't a GT40 engine. That was a 2JZ.
what the fuck? The Hoonigan fucking
Yeah.
I respect that those guys do basically what we're trying to do is like have a warehouse and like build neat shit and make videos about it. Except they don't live there,
Yeah.
and also I think they just like exist to sell merch.
Yeah,
And
that's what it seems like.
I don't like any of the stuff they build.
No.
It all sounds cool on paper, and then when you see it, it just isn't.
Yeah. It's because they do a lot of the hooning body kits and all that kind of shit. It just doesn't look that good. Not my thing.
Yeah, I'm not about Instagram hype beasting our cars. That's not some shit I like, and I don't want to build that.
There's a few other ones. I had to find them again. That's the only problem. So.
Oh, dude, that Mitsubishi fire truck.
Oh yeah, for 10. Like that is
10. Fuck yeah, dude.
Like that would have been sweet. Like that's what the reason I kind of want to do. Like that.
Yeah, dude. Like to hell with a half-ton pickup. That's my new truck. Oh, dude, a 9.6. Oh, it's a cart. Never mind. The 962. Like, oh, it's a cart. Never mind. $105,000 for a Ford GT engine and transaxle. No, thank you.
Yeah, not worth that much. Yeah, Lotus is free. Oh, there we go. Like that's pretty fucking sweet. 14.
Oh, Formula Continental? Yeah, dude. Is there an engine and transmission with it, or?
I don't know.
Most of those like small Formula cars are like chain driven and like usually
Ford Pinto and
motorcycle engines. Okay, yeah, so that's a Formula Continental, probably still a chain drive though. Keep scrolling. They'll show it in a picture, I'm sure. Up a little bit. Scroll up a little bit. Oh no, 4-speed gearbox. Okay. Down one more picture. There. No, not a chain drive. CVs. Hell yeah. I mean, that in itself, like that, it has an engine and trans still in it still.
Yeah.
Like that's worth 14. Shit.
That's worth more than 14. Yeah, like there's like the market's really weird in that cars that you don't expect to be that cheap are that cheap, and then ones that aren't.
The market is very weird.
Like I don't.
Okay, look at that. Like 2,300 mile, 91 Camaro Z28, 1LE 5-speed. Okay. I understand what that is. The 1LE was the lightweight Players Challenge race car trim. There was no radio, no AC, no speakers, crank windows, manual adjust seats. It was the lightweight stripped out one. It had an aluminum drive shaft. It had lightweight brakes. Cool. But it's still just a fucking 91 Camaro.
It's because of
low
low mileage.
36.5. I'm like, that's great. You know what that low mileage means to me? Nobody's ever driven it.
Yeah.
Every single thing on it is gonna fucking leak. I have to replace every goddamn seal on this car now.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a car that low. You buy to keep it low. Like it's a showpiece.
Yeah, I couldn't even drive that fucking thing because I'd be destroying any value it had. Because if I did drive it, guess what? It's still just a fucking 91 Camaro.
Yeah.
Like they weren't great. They weren't fast. It hits 60 in like 6 seconds. Like it's not amazing.
Yeah, that
handles good. It's fun. It communicates a really good driving feel. Camaros usually do, but like it's not great.
No, it's not what I would want.
And square bodies, square bodies are like fucking ridiculous price now.
Not even like it's a 93, but it's not the good one. Like
I was talking about the Suburban below it. Nobody wants Suburbans, which is why they're still under 20 grand. But like,
I'll give it a few years. Don't worry, someone will. Problem was I took these like back when I was on work because I was bored. Yeah, 60 grand for a Supra 6-speed.
Yeah, I don't care about Supras. I never have. They're heavy pigs.
Yeah.
They're not sports cars. I like sports cars. They're fun to throw around in corners.
Oh yeah, no,
Supras are heavy pigs.
Yeah, they're meant to be built up with a lot of power, but I don't want to do that. I shouldn't have to.
Yeah, for as much as they cost, I shouldn't have to rebuild the whole goddamn thing.
Fucking
make it fun.
Cobra 56, like we had talked about.
And that's got a fucking old ass Ford big block in it too.
78 Firebird.
What are those up to now that I know I'll never have one?
They're around. Like I sent you one for that was selling.
You can still find them cheap in rough shape. So there is that. That's some hope I got. Ooh, is that a Discovery 2? That is a Discovery 2. 13 grand? That better be the nicest fucking Discovery 2 on the planet, buddy. One that looks just like that was like $1,800 on the Tacoma Craigslist.
Jesus. Yeah, here. This is what I was.
Yeah, square body Blazer, just a stock 88 Blazer, $56,000 fucking dollars.
Yep.
I've had a lot of those. They're terrible. They're awful as trucks. The doors sag, they're loud, they're rattly, they smell like gas all the time. They don't fucking drive straight.
No.
Unless you put steering stabilizers on the front axle. Like they're not awesome as trucks. Like,
but yeah, this is the ZR1 for 30 in red. And then
that's a bargain at 30. Hell, the engine by itself as a crate motor is 26.
Yeah. And then it should be down here. It should have been like a day or so before, because I didn't have to scroll much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. Yeah. 2004 NSX Targa for 100.
It's insane that 04 Acura NSX is over 100 and that 90 ZR1 is like 30, because that 90 ZR1 would obliterate that NSX.
Oh, here, yeah, and proving that R32 GTRs are cheaper in the States, 30,000.
Yeah, good luck getting one imported for 30,000.
Yeah, no, you can't even buy them here for 30,000 anymore.
It's another stock 89 K5 Blazer, $47,500.
Yeah,
I don't like the people buying these they're not going to off road the fucking things.
There we go. So not like a day or two earlier, a black ZR1 sold for 50.
There's only 5,000 miles on it. That guy knew what he bought when he bought it in 1990.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, this is a really weird all aluminum V8, 32 valves. GM's never built something like this, and they never will again. So
yeah,
I'm gonna not drive this thing that much.
Yeah, like there's a few other
Lotus
ones.
designed that V8, and then Mercury Marine built it for some fucking reason, and then they got put in Corvettes. But I love them. I'm gonna use those engines in like 4 of my planned projects.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only other big one I had was this, like, so the other ones they're either up or down. This one is super down, especially for how many miles it has.
Yeah, 105. That's not much.
Like, because when I was looking at them like 3 years ago, they were going for like 140.
That 89 Mercedes-Benz 300 CE though, $9,800. Look at that baby.
Like that's fucking.
Is that a coupe too? Is that a 2-door?
That's a 2-door coupe.
Oh man, the most Miami drug dealer you could possibly look. Nah, it'd have to be white and have Ronalds on it and a body kit. But yeah,
I mean,
what a car!
Yeah, like it could be something good. Yeah, like.
If you lived life in an 80s sitcom and your friend from school had a hot mom and his dad was a dentist, that's what his hot mom would drive, is that car exactly. I'm speaking of a really time era specific American experience here, but like I feel like that's going to resonate with a couple people. Like, yeah, man, I can see her driving that thing now, coming home with groceries in it. Yep. Your friend's hot mom and her red Mercedes.
saw a few other. So that's a thing. I didn't
That's fucking gross, dude.
like. Are civilians allowed to have those kind of lights on?
Red and blue lights on the front of the vehicle? No. You will get pulled over and fined and possibly incarcerated for impersonating a police officer. If the cop's cool, which is rare, you'll probably just get fined.
Yeah, red and blue emergency lights are mounted. Like that's 100% impersonating a cop.
Yeah, it's very illegal.
So
I thought you were going to ask me if civilians could own armored vehicles. Like, yeah, they totally can. I almost bought an armored Suburban because I thought it was neat.
oh yeah, no. I'm just curious that no one's asked that. Like, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
For
Old single-seater Lotus looks like a lower tier, like Formula Atlantic or something.
Ford Kent 1.6.
Probably Formula Ford then. There are so many feeder series to F1 like along the way that there are like an unlimited number of Formula whatever open wheel cars that are not F1 cars. They're just it's insane. But no, that's neat. That's cool. You could buy that and immediately win whatever your local hill climb is.
Oh yeah. Like that'd be fun just to have. Like those things. Oh look. Hey, wow, that's
R33 95 actual Skyline GTR. What's it at now? 25. Yeah, that's probably gonna go up.
Or
it used to be that like people don't really want the R33 because it was like the big, heavy, slow one that didn't turn that good. Mm-hmm. But like they've always been the most expensive in America because there were like 30 something grandfathered in Motor X cars. It could be 30, it could be 20 something. I don't remember exactly. You want to know exactly? Look up Sean Morris's blog, and he knows exactly how many because he worked on legalizing them for Motor X in the early 2000s. So, yeah, the few in America and legal grandfathered R33s were always like 75 grand minimum because like you weren't gonna get another one. Like this is it. If you wanted to buy one, it had to be this one.
Yeah.
Whereas now, they are much cheaper. So.
Yeah.
But that will go up. That won't sit at 20 forever. They'll probably end up at like 35, 36. But like,
which is still really cheap because these go for like 50 over here.
Yeah, but it's just a fucking. It's an all-wheel drive Maxima with a different engine.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Like,
I don't know, it isn't Skyline purists who are gonna flame me in the comments. It's not a fucking Maxima. Yeah, okay, but it is just a Nissan sedan from the 90s.
Like that's the thing. When you drive these old Nissans, like they have the Nissan problems of really old, rattly plastic. Like your R34, we've talked about being over-engineered. Like, okay, people are gonna hate me because I hate over-engineered cars, but it's too perfect in every way that I don't like it. It drives like
it's
a Gran
got no
Turismo.
Soul.
Yeah,
it's just a machine.
It's a Nissan Altima that has some turbos on it and a body kit. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want a car that I don't feel anything.
If you get a cheap sim rig and like that Logitech wheel setup and find a way to like emulate Gran Turismo 5, I think you'll really fall in love with the way the R32 behaves on pretty much all the tracks. I remember when I played it, if you did some light tuning to an R32 and drove it almost perfectly, you could do like a sub 7-minute Nürburgring lap.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's with my cheater tires on, because I put cheater tires on pretty much everything. But yeah, no, it's a even without good tires, when it'll let it slide, you can control the slide pretty well because it's all-wheel drive, and it's a really fun to drive car. It does understeer on some low-speed corners. Oh, is that the car from the show Viper?
Yeah, it is the prop car. Oh, that's fucking
nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's neat looking. I bet it's horrible to drive and not well built though.
No, because those are, I think they say, a faux center console screen, so it's not even real. Like
fake center console screens that don't do anything. That's not even a V10. It's some old Chrysler small block in there.
Yeah, oh my god.
Shitty air cleaner on it.
It's a neat prop car, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I was seeing if they had any. 40 for green. Yeah.
Hey, that looks like your old car.
Exactly. It even has the brown interior that I like because that's what they needed.
It's caramel.
It's beautiful. What it was. Yeah.
Forest green over caramel.
I mean, that one's
The
fucked
most
up.
90s.
That one's fucked up. They put the wrong rims on. They should have kept the fucking tri-spokes. The blades. The blades look good on a Viper.
Those 3-spoke blades do look cool. They looked like nothing else in the early 90s. And then immediately after the Viper came out, like 5 different wheel companies came out with a 3-spoke wheel.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They look like everything from the 90s after that. But again, only Vipers have persisted with original 3-spokes. Like nobody with aftermarket 3-spokes still has them on there. You know?
No.
It'd be harder to find aftermarket 3-spokes now than it would be to find an original Viper with 3-spokes.
But yeah, these are a car people like need to get in on because like they're fucking cheap for what they are. Like,
yeah.
Besides that,
that
was 93 miles. Like,
I continue to the people at work, customers who like have seen my Raptor or like heard it or whatever. Like I continue to like amaze them with how cheap Raptors are. Like that truck costs $22,000.
Yeah.
It's a 2011 Raptor crew cab in, press release orange. Yeah. And it's like, everyone's like, oh man, those are expensive. Like they're actually not expensive whatsoever. They're really not expensive at all. They're very, for a truck, for as much truck as it is, it's very cheap.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find, obviously I'm going to find a lot of the new ones for sale. I'm trying to,
ignore the new ones. Like, there you go. Modified 2010 Super Cab. 35, and that's modified, so it's probably supercharged. There's a silver one right there. What's that one cost?
Oh, this one, 37.
Yeah, like that's a 2013. Like that's probably got a touchscreen and shit. That's new enough that it seems like a brand new truck, but it's so much more than a brand new truck that you can buy. Oh, hey, there's my truck with 2,500 miles on it. That's
52,000. But
that's double the price of mine. But it has 2,500 miles. That's true. It doesn't have the digital mud that you can buy from any eBay seller for like $100.
Yeah.
There's a clean one, 37. Keep scrolling.
30 for black.
37.
Like, 36. A lot of them are for sale are white 45. Or black. Like, there's not a lot of one.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand why a lot of people went for like at the time, like the craziest, truck that like an OEM had ever built. And they were like, yeah, I just wanted it a subdued normal color. I'm just going to drive it like an F-150. Like, well, then buy a fucking F-150. Don't buy the Raptor.
Yeah, that's
the
same
clean
thing.
Low miles examples. Way nicer than mine is right now because I've beat on it extensively. Or like 36, 40. Like that's still
60. 27,000 miles for 45.
Yeah. There's a really nice one, 45. Not a crew cab, but
yeah.
Super cab. That's a very nice truck for that money. Like, and arguably, I'll say it, even though it's a now 12, 13-year-old truck, like that's a better truck than a brand new truck today. Because like,
no, yeah. Nowadays,
a lot of the emissions equipment, the PCV systems, and the way they burn oil, and how you have to run 0-20, and some of them for the same size V8 they've had for like 15 years. Now you got to put 8 quarts of fucking oil in it. Like, don't buy a new truck if you want a dependable, long-lasting truck.
Oh yeah.
Buy like a 10-year-old truck and just do maintenance on it. It's like mine's been reliable as shit. Aside from the power steering, I continue to break. Aside from me breaking the power steering pump 5 times now, that truck's had like one credible issue that what was like, and there was a TSB about it, and most of them have been fixed. The fuel pump fuse gets hot and melts. And mine was like one of the only trucks you could find that like hadn't had it done already. Tanner's had already had it done, and it was simple. I just bought a fuse, and I used this much wire to jumper it from this slot in the fuse box to this different one where the bigger fuse goes, and I swapped it, and it was easy.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a Hennessy.
Ooh.
Build quality, But what's the power reading on that dyno graph that I cannot read? 517?
517.
Yeah, and no speed limiter. So I mean, that's like realistically, call it like 150 mile an hour truck, which you should never go that fast in it. The tires are only rated to about 100. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a considerably nice, at the time, Ford's favorite color, blue
Yeah.
Raptor, and it's a special Hennessy, so it's only going to appreciate.
Actually,
and like, what is this one for sale for?
This is a 810 horsepower based on the plaque, but I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, but he's got a dyno sheet for not that
5,
much.
Yeah, but it was sold for 47, and it was.
Yeah, that's a good buy at 47.
Yeah, like that's a really good buy.
And like that's not a crew cab like mine, so it's not as long as like a limo, so you can like reasonably like drive it well in parking lots and park it easily. Like,
yeah, like
that's a great vehicle. That's a great buy. I don't understand why more people are buying new trucks than used Ford Raptors. And I didn't understand that when I bought my Raptor, because at the time mine was clean and low miles and really nice and had a lot of optional extras put on it, and it was like 22, and it was at just some
so cheap. That's so cheap.
It was at some truck for sale lot. They only did trucks in like Tacoma. And we drove down and I got it and I traded my Escalade in on it. And I was like, hell yeah, dude, this thing's awesome. And it was. And it's been awesome for like 5 years. I keep trashing it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a truck, so it's fine. You can fix it.
Yeah, that's like I say I keep trashing it. I'm like, well, I haven't like fully detailed the interior in like a year. And that's me trashing it. I haven't like, it's been like a solid 2.5 years since you guys were all here still. Since I've like off-roaded it or jumped it or like, slid it around on some mountain gravel roads or had done anything like fun in it. Now I just drive it and I cut the exhaust off and it's loud and I love it.
Exactly. And that's the thing is it's what you like.
Yeah.
Like that's...
Yeah. And I will say if you're in the market like for a truck and you don't care if it gets like 15 miles a gallon, because guess what? I don't care what they say about the new EcoBoost or whatever Eco Ram diesel or whatever. If you're driving a full-size pickup truck, 15, 16 is just like what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Dailying it, on highway and in town. So, I mean, if you don't care about that, which if you need a truck, you better not care about that because that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Buy a used Raptor, man. They're kick-ass. They're awesome. They're dependable. It's got a pretty wicked towing and hauling capacity. I've dragged several cars home on trailers with that truck. At 85, no problem. Like the trailer wasn't even there. Like, they're great trucks. But mine's not for sale. Never will be.
Which is good because we will.
Yeah, we need its engine for our GT40 kit car, and then hopefully we'll make enough money off of that I can buy a 7.3 crate motor and put in it to replace the 6.2. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll be doing a lot of engine swaps on various things. Which, speaking of engine swaps, did you ever figure out what engine swap you want to do on the C3 Corvette?
No, something that'll make Corvette people and old white men very upset.
The only thing I could think of would be American.
Oh, definitely not American. I'd additionally like it to be
twin turbo.
No, something that doesn't make a lot of sense either. Like Toyota's got this 90s V8, the 1UZ-FE, and they put it in like I think early Tundras and like maybe an SUV. But it's like not a powerhouse, doesn't make a ton of torque and shit. Like it's not like an LS swap. It's just I'd objectively be swapping in a worse V8 than like anyone else would. Mm-hmm. But like it would make people upset and we could make it look cool. But like I almost don't even want to put a V8 in it. I kind of want to put like a straight 6 in it or like a V6.
I was going to say, if you wanted to go up to a V10, you could go and do the Toyota Century.
I really don't want to put a V10 in it because one of the things I like about the C3 is that even though it is such a compact, small car, there's still a lot of room in the engine bay. So I'd like to put a small engine in there to still have room in the engine bay.
Why not do I
was thinking like
even a 4-cylinder. You could do a 4-cylinder.
We could, but
which would be funny too because you'd be literally cutting half the amount of cylinders.
Yeah, I was thinking like what would make people probably the most, specifically Corvette and old white people, probably like a Honda Accord V6.
Yeah.
Which it basically is the same thing that was in the NSX.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
Let's see.
I'm just struggling to think like, how could I make it still cool, but not great? I'm thinking like late 90s, early 2000s Accord V6.
Oh god.
So
yeah, if you do, there's a 3. Again, that's 97. Yeah,
I was working on one of those at work. It has a shitload of issues and it's full of mold.
Oh god.
Yeah, like that generation. One of those.
Well, these are all inline fours.
What the hell? Oh, that's the European model. That's why. You tell me the American one. Where that at?
2002, the 7th generation Honda Accord.
Yeah, here we go.
Go there.
This is what the V6. The V6 boy have.
They got an inline 4 2.4 liter or a V6.
3 liter V6. Oh, your screen went away. And it came back. Cool. Yeah, click that 3 liter.
Which one? There's 2 different engines. The J series. Oh, they're both J series. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're just 2 different J series. Yeah. Yeah. I think that V6 went in a ton of shit. I'm almost positive it also went in the Honda Odyssey.
210 horsepower.
Which is like... That's more actually than a C3 Corvette's 350 had. So
that's the J30A1. The J30A4 went to 242. So that's
considerably more than a C3 Corvette's 350 had.
Which would be pretty funny because it'd be faster.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't sound like a fucking Corvette. It would sound. Oof.
Yeah, I'd have to find a way to make it sound cool and be different and stuff too, which I'm sure there's some ridiculous 80s body kits out there for those that I'd be able to find.
Yeah.
I haven't bench built out that car yet with a plan like I have most of them, but I will eventually. I have too many other things to worry about before I even get to that though. So.
Yeah, like I think the weirdest kit I saw was mainly because the color was the Bjork one, and it had the tri-spoke.
That's a C4.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking that.
That was a cool car, though. People on Instagram and YouTube love that car.
You can buy the kit.
Yeah,
it's neat. Like I like the color, and I like the tri-spoke rims. Like I definitely do. It definitely has that 80s feel to it. It was apparently made in magazine too. Neat.
Yeah, put in like C3 body kit. I bet they're all some real boomery looking shit. You should probably specify Corvette. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, there's some ridiculous shit out there for sure, but yeah, I'm sure there's some cool stuff too.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're really gonna have to kind of look around. And then did you want to keep the pop-ups or did you want to get rid of them and do like clear?
I haven't decided yet, honestly. Okay. I've decided nothing on it yet, other than that it's probably gonna be white, and I'm gonna make it upset a lot of Corvette people.
Which if you want to do, we could do that with the C2 as well, because I want a C2.
Oh man, tell me realistically what you want to use that C2 for, and I will design an infuriating drivetrain around that C2.
Mainly like just because I like the C2 look, like so it can be whatever. Yeah. I don't want it to be the Super Sport. Like I just want it to be the split window. And I want to keep the pop-up.
Yeah, you don't want the big dumbass hood.
No, and I don't like the Super Sport's rear either. Because I don't like.
Oh, the Grand Sport. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do a Grand Sport body kit on that. No way.
So, I like the. I don't know what color yet. I probably like a fucking like a blue like that because I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's very time correct, like period correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically just keep the body the same, and you can do whatever you want to the engine, anything else. Basically, the rims I want to keep the same. I want to keep it fucking side exhaust,
side pipes. Yeah. Hell yeah. It'll have side pipes. I don't know if it'll sound good, but it'll have side pipes.
don't remember what the interior looks like. I honestly looked at it.
It's very much a product of the 60s, is what it is.
Yeah, that's fine. We can keep the interior the same. That's not a big problem to me.
I want to tell you, too, unless you and I lose about 15 pounds each, like you and I would not comfortably fit together in a C2 interior.
Yeah.
It's not big.
Oh, yeah, no.
There's not a lot of space.
Yeah, that's the thing is, thankfully I will be losing weight because I'm going to the gym, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If it is a car that we have to go and do on a different body, like the Bullet Mustang, then that's fine. The main
well,
thing
C2 Corvettes are redonkulous expensive, but
well, yeah, I'd want to do the.
We could arguably rebody a C3 into a C2 because most of the important measurements didn't change that much. So
okay.
Yeah, we could turn a C3 into a C2.
Yeah, that's fine. C3's
yeah, the C3 interior is great. I love it. I like the C3 a lot. I just never had one because I don't know.
Yeah.
I end up with Camaros instead.
Which is it's cheaper. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
So
don't have to pay the Corvette tax with a Camaro.
Exactly. And you don't have to deal with Corvette people, Corvette bros.
There are sort of starting to be Corvette bros. Most Corvette people are like old white guys in jorts and New Balances who want to tell you all about why their completely stock Corvette is the most special and unique Corvette built that year.
There's only 300 that year with that specification.
Yeah, like it's a yellow Corvette, dude. I don't give a shit. Do you do burnouts in it ever, or do you drive it at 35 miles an hour once on Sundays to take your wife to dinner? Like I don't.
Yeah, it's so.
Why did you buy this car?
Because
I'll find a way to make it cool.
But yeah, that was definitely one on the list. Is just I want to keep it as stock look as possible. But I mean, if it pisses off people, I don't really care because clearly my fucking RX-7 is gonna piss off a lot of JDM fanboys, and I don't really care because it's gonna go into something better.
We're gonna swap in an American V8, and also not the one everybody swaps in.
Yeah,
we're gonna swap in the one most people who don't know anything about them actively avoid.
Exactly. So yeah,
because OptiSpark's scary. I'm not afraid of it. Yeah, you can change the distributor. It's easy. All I gotta do is take the crankshaft pulley off.
Yeah, it's so. But yeah, I think those were like the main things. Just because I didn't have a whole lot to talk about this time.
Neither. How long have we been going? Almost 2 hours. Yeah,
that's fine. Yeah, that was.
So hopefully tonight or tomorrow, my deposit will hit. I'll buy some games, and you and me can do some more gaming this weekend. Probably.
Oh yeah, sounds like a plan, buddy.
Like I said, I'll be playing ahead to scout and sort of be prepared, so we, so that we're not just walking into it like, wait, what? We're snipers? Are these guys friendly? And then we die.
I shoot anybody, good or bad.
Yeah. I'm shooting everybody.
Yeah,
allies. Not my allies.
Yeah. I'm on my own army.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, good talking with you, bud.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good hanging out.
It was nice. Yeah. I'll make sure I go and I buy those games then too. Thankfully, I mean, like I said, I'll be off. So after I drop my car off, I literally can't go anywhere.
We'll start with like 3 in Zombie Army Trilogy because those Zombie Army Trilogy in itself is three games.
Oh, okay.
And then 3 is just a large game with DLC, so we'll have plenty of time to get through that before we got to move on to 4 and 5.
Yeah, well, plenty of time because we'll have that fucking week, and then any time after that. That's even when I get my car back, I can't really do much. So, but.
I have no time-sensitive concerns. I don't care if I got to stay up all night and game with you and then go to class tired. I'll take a caffeine pill and drink a NOS. I'll be fine. It's just class.
That's fair. I feel that way too, though, even with my job, because...
Yeah, it's just work. All I do is sit there. Like,
Yeah, like, that's the thing. If I sleep at work, no one... Like, they'll wake me up if they need anything. That's
yeah, but you don't get reprimanded for it.
Like, if
You're just like, oh...
Oh, yeah, no, like, they don't... So even though I'm in the military, shit is bananas. Because, like, we were business casual, but some dude just decided, yeah, business casual. I'm gonna wear jeans. I'm like, that's not business casual, you fucking idiot.
No, that's casual.
Like, that's super casual. And, like, no one even reprimanded him for it.
Yeah, business casual implies, like
khakis.
really nice black jeans or like khakis or slacks. Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever.
Or if you're a vet, bro, a polo and some cargo pants.
Hell yeah.
With like dress boots.
But yeah, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna fucking, I don't know.
I'm gonna
need to
fucking
go run some
take a
errands.
really long pee and then make some food because it's 7, almost 30, and I haven't eaten yet. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna make
you
some
definitely
food.
need to eat. So go enjoy
Might
some
drink.
Wendy's or something.
I'm gonna drink 2 cans of SpaghettiOs.
Ugh.
Right out the can, cold.
Well, I mean, I eat most.
That's
soup
how I
out
like
the
them. SpaghettiOs are fantastic.
Yeah, I eat most soup out the can cold because it's just.
I do the same thing with soup. It's a whole meal and they're really easy to
Also, microwaves are expensive.
ingest. Yeah, I mean, there's one in the house. It's been here since I moved in. So I mean,
Yeah, I don't have one.
it's
'Cause
part of the kitchen.
they're like $80 for a microwave, and I'm not about to pay that.
You should have said something. Well, like when I moved, I don't know what I did with the microwave from the apartment. I think I just left it in the apartment for the guy that moved in.
Yeah.
So
but it's whatever.
you could have taken it with you. Shit, I could have mailed it to you.
I didn't know my apartment wouldn't come with it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So it's whatever. Like Japanese people have weird priorities. Like
Yeah.
like my kitchen is right attached to my fucking my living room. So and I don't have a lot of counter space. So like really the only realistic thing I have is my air fryer.
Oh, dude, I have an air fryer. They're tits. I have like 5 bags of frozen French fries in the fridge just because it's easy to make French fries now with an air fryer. And I'm like, hell yeah, I don't gotta burn the shit out of myself with oil. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's fucking.
I love fries. Arguably my favorite food, right behind hamburgers. So
Yeah, I need.
also shitty dive Chinese food and not that great pizza.
Yeah.
There used to be local places back east where I could get like not that great pizza that was amazing. But since we're in Washington, and these people have never heard of Italians, and none of them immigrated here during the Industrial Revolution. There's no good pizza here, so it's like the best I can get for like not that great pizza is Papa John's. It's like what about Domino's? Like that's
disgusting.
That's like paper with toppings on it. Like it's not. There's no. It's not. It's a commodity. It's not a food.
That's why I can't wait to move back to the States because like. There's not any good burger places here. Like, people have recommended me a few, and I'm like, they're really far out of the fucking way, and I'm not driving to go get a burger.
If they gotta be kitschy and put a bunch of goofy shit on the burger to church it up, then it's not a good burger. A good burger has 2 things on it: ketchup and American cheese, and that's it. Like, season that patty, cook that fucker correctly, that's a good-ass burger.
Yeah. So.
I don't need a fancy bun. I don't need all the seeds and bullshit. Put that fucker on bread. I don't care.
And then as for pizza, like there's Japanese do weird pizza here. Like it's not
I know. I've bought pizza a couple times from Pizza Huts and Papa John's in Japan, and it's always been strange.
Yeah.
Like it's even the menu has like never been normal.
Yeah, because they have like mayo, pea, fucking.
Yeah, peas and mayonnaise and like weird shit and like ham and fucking avocados and like pineapple. I'm like, why this combination of things on a pizza?
Japanese.
I remember being at like, I think it was the Pizza Hut a couple blocks away from the shipyard in Yokohama, and like just trying to get just a normal fucking meat lovers pizza. And they didn't just have like a meat lovers pizza, so I had to like spec order a meat lovers pizza, and it was expensive.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you do like remotely American things? Can I buy like a couple 2 liters of soda with this pizza and like put them in my fridge on the boat? And like, yeah, I could, but also expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an experience.
Pizza's like a fucking luxury here for some reason. I don't understand it.
Yeah. I met some really weird German dudes who spoke English and apparently worked for Continental Tire at that Pizza Hut. That night. I forget who I was with. Flood, maybe? I think it was Flood. who I was with. Or maybe it was Dabney. I don't know. People I used to be in the Navy with who I don't talk to anymore. Whatever. Like, I was with Sailor B.
Yeah, like
and I was Sailor A. And our mission was to acquire pizza.
Like, once you really leave the command, you typically don't talk to 90% of the people you worked with because they were single serving friends is the term.
Yeah, I still talk to you, the rest of the Cooch boys from the Cooch apartments, and like Senior Smith, who to this day he's like, dude, you can just call me Tim. I'm like, yeah, but you're always gonna be Senior.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna call you Senior till the day I die, bro.
Yeah.
I talked to Warrant Medeiros too a little bit because he's a cool guy. But,
yeah, that'd be like.
Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah. Like I don't really talk to anybody anymore just because. Yeah. Like I'll message Barton every so often, but like. Barton sold his car, so like he doesn't really do car stuff, and he doesn't have a car in Tokyo because you don't need one, so he just bikes. And I'm like.
I wouldn't even bike. I would literally just walk and take trains or cabs everywhere I went. Like
I don't know. And he plays MMOs like pretty much exclusively now, so I just don't have a lot in common anymore.
Yeah. I don't know what Kelly's up to. I chatted with him a bit a while ago because apparently we both build gunplay. Like super serious about it and like good at it. He's got like a little airbrush booth and shit. And I was like, oh damn, I just spray paint shit in my garage because fuck that floor. I'm not gonna live here forever.
Yeah.
I put cardboard down, but still, like, yeah. But yeah, no, I don't talk to too many people too much. It's a shame. I sort of like, I don't know. I figure at least some people would like hit me up and be like, hey man, what are you up to? How you doing? Is life really better out of the Navy? And I would be like, yes, it's so much better out of the Navy. Please get out.
Yeah, that's the thing is it's a two-way street, and it doesn't matter if it's not just the Navy; it's all jobs in general. Like, if you're the only one putting work in, it might just be time to call it quits, bud. Like, that's why I don't talk to most of these people because, like, I know Isaac's hit me up while he was in port, and he was like, "Oh, you know, I have so much to talk to you about."
Isn't he having a baby with your ex?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird.
He was like, but he hit me up when he got to port, and I'm like, really? Wow, that's wild that you want to hit me up in port. Like, you need a ride. Like, nah, not happening.
Like, you don't want to hang out unless it's me driving you to where you want to go.
Like, I'm not. Gas is expensive in the RX-7. My time is expensive.
And new phone, bud. Who this?
Yeah. So I was like, nah. I'm busy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing too. As some people do hit me up sometimes, but like only when they need something. You know. Which to an extent I'm fine with, you know. Like I'm the guy who fixes cars. So I mean, like if you hit me up and you're like, hey man, can you like do my brakes? Like I'll come up and hang out and we can get food or like a beer or something. Like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care. I'm not doing anything. Bring it up, I'll swap your brakes, but like, you know.
Yeah, it'd be nice to, you know, do other things.
Oh, Johnson. I talked to Johnson a bunch. We've been talking. It's the NBA playoffs right now, so we've been conversing pretty heavily. He's also guiding me through my Dragon Ball Odyssey, which I'm still working on editing all of it into one cohesive video. Which the more I get actual run times of shit without knowing how much I got to edit out to try to make the whole story canon, like.
It's a project.
The video grows longer and longer. It's good. At this point, it's going to be like a 16-day long video, like from pushing play to the video being finished. Like,
yeah, you're probably going to want to upload that in parts just because it's
no, straight up. It's if people ask for it or whatever in Discord servers or anything, like it's going to be one link to a Dropbox with a singular massive video in it. It's going to be like, what if I want this in parts? I'll be like, I don't give a shit. Download Premiere and cut it into parts. I wasn't going to do that. The challenge is watching it all in one sitting. That's the challenge.
Yeah, I just mean because if your internet like decides to, while you're uploading it to the Dropbox, it decides to, hey, we're going to take a break for 30 seconds, then the whole thing's fucked.
My internet has been doing that very heavily lately because I will upload videos to our Dropbox for about 8 minutes, and then Dropbox tells me I'm not connected to the internet, and it always says the same thing on the actual uploading video. It always says 32 minutes to complete when it isn't. And but I tried with our gaming stream to upload it last night. The minute we disconnected, I went to upload it to Dropbox. I came home from work today at 5:15. It still said 32 minutes till complete. It was 8% uploaded, and it just wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
And with Dropbox, there's no way to pause and resume or refresh it. You just stop and then try again, and it does the same thing again. So I don't know. Maybe it's Dropbox because it's not my internet.
I don't know.
My internet's working fine.
It's weird because
you and me are live, and I don't
I don't have any problems with Dropbox because I haven't been able to add people to different folders I've been making, but because I've been trying to go and drop how much shit I have downloaded, I've been uploading a lot of the files, the raw files, the uploaded files, just because my SSDs have been getting full of all the various things. So I uploaded them all and then I deleted it, and now I have fucking 400 gigs free.
Nice. Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's until I at least figure out what the fuck's going on, it's probably Comcast throttling my shit, not allowing me to upload anything. But because my down is still fine. I am watching a video in 4K right now, and I'm connected with you over, across the ocean, live in this video room, and the internet's fine. But yeah, fucking Comcast, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, let's see.
But anyway, yeah, it's all the same to you, I guess. I'll just stop.
Internet.
Yeah, I'll stop recording.
Curious what the
Spectrum not available in my area.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to see ones that are East Coast.
I think around Charlotte, which if you still even want to live around Charlotte.
Yeah, I want to live as close to the...
That'd be a hell of a drive to Virginia every day, though.
Well, I want to live as close to Norfolk, but... There we go. There. So, somewhere over here.
Okay.
Because
those are pretty largely unpopulated areas, except for the coast there. So.
Yeah, that's exactly why. So, and then if we get the right, if I can find a good area where I just have to take 2 turns and I just get right on the highway to basically go to Norfolk, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So
doing some morning traffic into Norfolk though, goddamn.
It's fine. I already basically knew I'd have to make a long commute, but I don't want to live in Virginia because Virginia is a shitty place.
Yeah, fuck front plates.
I do not like front plates at all, and I don't like the laws that they have, and everything's expensive there for no reason. Just because it's Virginia.
But because the Navy.
Yeah, well, military in general. But
yeah.
Yeah, so I want to live in North Carolina and then just make that drive because I don't mind driving. I have no problem driving.
Hell yeah.
I literally... Especially
in a car that you enjoy.
Yeah, that's the thing. I literally have to leave to get to... So, from my car to work is a 15-minute walk. So... I have to get there to work by 9:15 at the latest. I leave my house by 8:05 at the latest, and then I have to sit in my car for 10 minutes, and then I have to make that drive. So it's an hour or so. So and I don't mind doing more. I don't mind doing a longer drive.
Yeah.
So it's...
Well, anyway, we should end this because I really need to pee, dude.
That's fair. Yeah, well, we can end it. Yeah, thanks for talking, fam. We'll do this again. We'll play some games next week.
Yeah, man, we can do this again. Shit, we can do this tomorrow. I don't care. Nothing going on.
I was I just don't know what to talk about because that was most of the stuff that's happened lately.
Yeah.
So.
All right, bud.
Have a good one, fam. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, love you, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Love you too, fam. Take it easy.